Okay, welcome everybody. Today's Saturday, Success Saturday, April 5th, and we're actually in the middle of a 90-day challenge. And so whenever we do challenges, it's usually, especially in the beginning of the year, it's usually like a lot of live Zoom. So this is kind of abnormal, just so you know. You don't have to show up to a Zoom to make this business work. I've been successfully marketing online for 12 years, and I tour guide people through the process, and I'm a direct response marketer. I love direct response ads. I study copy, and I have for 12 years. So Get Fearless Freedom is already put together. You don't have to figure out how to, present. You don't have to figure out what to say to someone if they do a callback into a hotline. You don't have to do any of that. And there's other systems out there where you have to do that. And you don't even have to advertise if you don't want. You can use it for your current business. I know that sounds strange, but I'm going to show you what I mean here today. So if you have another existing business, you can learn today how to put together a capture page. Okay. So let me just see if I got to go live on my YouTube channel because this is good stuff whenever I demonstrate the back office. Okay. So let me just make sure I'm live and make sure everybody stays muted. And when I share my screen, so I can share my screen. Okay. So I'm going live on my YouTube channel. And again, it's being recorded. So if anyone's missed this session, they can always listen to it on my YouTube channel. So you can always find me over here on my YouTube channel. You can go to Tammy Montgomery. You can search me. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. I'm one of the most transparent company owners there are out there. Okay. My son and I. I just believe in transparency. Again, you can call me on my 800 number. You can message me on Facebook if you have a question about joining. If you have a question, you can always save it to the end today as well. So what is Get Fearless Freedom? Get Fearless Freedom, again, is a business opportunity. You can share it to other people and make money. You can resell it. There's 200, 500, 1,000, and 2,000 commissions now. And we had added the 2,000 level last fall. And now we have a special going on for people. And I have one laptop left, and it's for people that get in at the $2,000 level. And I really do believe that one of the biggest reasons why people are attracted to GFF is because of the physical product going out the door. So if you do have if you did join in at the 2,000 level, I just have to preface to say that you will be set up so you don't have to go through this process I'm going to be showing you right now, but it's good for everybody to learn how to set up a capture page because we're going to be doing that again on Tuesday. And so you can set up your capture page. What is a capture page? I'm going to get really, really basic here today. So I hope a lot of people don't mind. A capture page is where a person lands, or they might call it a landing page. A person lands on your page if you're putting up an ad. So we're directing them to a page for them to enter their email address. Once they enter their email address, then they get to go to the 7-minute video. When they watch the 7-minute video, they're either yes or no, or they move on, right? So you collect the decision, the system collects a decision for you, and that's it. Rinse and repeat, okay? So let me just show you one of my pages. Let me see if I can move my screen over a little bit, Rob. I got ChatGPT open today. I use AI technology now. My son's got me kind of hooked on it. And we actually did do a training on this, didn't we, Rob? We did a training on the ChatGPT and how we can effectively help people, learn how to use ChatGPT. So I just want people to know that this clean white page right here, it might be silly looking, but hey, I'm the one laughing all the way to the bank. Okay. So I just want people to understand that I know the process, and there's a lot of crazy simple systems out there, in my opinion, that like they promise the world, but then when you get in, it's like, wow, okay, this is really hard to set up, so there's just a lot of that noise out there, and people are saying, this is great and this and the other thing, but you really want to have a system that's always working for you. My system's never been down one time. It's setting on my own servers. And so Rob and I use these simple pages in order to drive traffic. You can put up a Craigslist ad. You can mail out a postcard. We're going to be doing training on that this month. You can simply place a USA Today ad. You can do all these things, right? And so you don't have to be techie. Whenever someone says I'm not techie, well, it just means that they're not willing to work, because I'm techie because I learned how to put up a website. That's it. So I just want people to understand that. So you go in here into your back office, and this is mine, and I'll show everybody the difference between mine and yours. I have an admin portal. You don't have to worry about this. You never have to worry about ever emailing or sending anyone ever a lead ever, or excuse me, an email follow-up ever again. You can allow me to do that for you. This is a huge, huge thing that sets my system apart from other systems, because other systems out there, you have to set up, and excuse me, you have to set up your autoresponder and send out the email, okay? Here you don't have to. This is my own portal. Again, you don't have one like this because you don't have to email your leads if you don't want to. Okay? So it's all the bells and whistles are over here on the left-hand side. We're going to create a page today, and we're just going to simply choose a header. You have 4 of them where you can pick from, and it's very simple. So you can choose this. And of course, I'm on Zoom, so it's going to be a little bit slower, and we'll just make sure that we're keeping up with it. So 1, 2, and there's 3 clicks. So let's go up here. You have to tell it what you want it to say. So there's 1, 2, and then you show a button. So there's 3 right there. You click save capture page, and that's saved. Now, is that hard? Tell me it's not hard. And you can actually purchase at the 200 level just with that. Okay, so you have the 200 level, you can just, simply use the system and use it for another opportunity. Well, how do you do that? And you can, like I said, even just resell at the 200 level to people that are program hoppers. We have kind of a funny saying. Rob and I say, you can earn, 5 figures a month, whatever. And again, I'm not stating any income claims because you can't. You can't state any income claims. You can't say how much time you're going to spend doing any of this stuff because I don't know your life and I don't know what you do during the day. But I can tell you right now, what you just saw was literally under 30 seconds. I set up a page. Under 30 seconds. You can set up a page here. You don't have to know any HTML. You don't know any of that. So if you can click and you got on this Zoom here today, then you can actually create a page with GFF, okay? So that's how simple that is. Now, I'm going to show, because I said that this Zoom would be targeted to where you can use this for any other business opportunity. We've done this before, huh, Rob? I almost feel like this is like a deja vu.
Groundhog's Day.
Yeah, Groundhog's Day or deja vu, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's a new campaign. So Rob again does this. You can hire my son to do this stuff, but you can also do it and log in because you can learn how to fish, right? My grandfather back in the day in the 70s, when I was a little girl, he taught me how to fish. And that was probably
Mm-hmm.
one of the best things he ever taught me. And he taught me patience. And he taught me how to fish. And I used to have the string of fish. Anyone remember the day when you'd have just strings of perch and sunnies and calicos? And he'd say, "All right, Tammy, you didn't get one today, but you know what? Go back right out there and we'll go get one tomorrow if we didn't get any fish." So it's the same thing with marketing. You're just kind of taking that knowledge that you have and the desire, and you go out and you fish. You put that fishing line into the water. It's really no different with online marketing. I'm 57 years old, and I mean, I've learned this stuff and I continue to keep learning, on how to do internet marketing. And it's just really easy. So I've never said that how can I say this? If I fell off the pony, my grandpa would say, get right back on it, right? So you can't say that you can't learn this stuff, right, at any age, because you can. So, like I said, if you can scroll on Facebook and you can type in the computer, then you can do this system. It's very, very simple. I make it very simple. I even told my programmer, make sure it's super simple because I don't want anything techie back there. So he did that. So here's where you go in and you can name your campaign. Let's just say you have XYZ, right? You have an XYZ company and you love it and you're just passionate about it and you want to market it. So this is where you can capture, because you always want to build a list. If you're doing direct response marketing or you're doing DMs on Facebook, that's all well and good, but you do want to actually build your list as you're doing that, okay? So let's say you have another company, and I can't say, any companies on here, but there's about, oh, let's just search. Let's just say how many thousands of companies are on there online right now. Um, I can show you. Here's a online directory of all the companies out there, home-based business opportunities, right here. Look at them all. So I learned this strategy about 10 years ago, and I learned to be the picks and the shovels and the tools and learning and teaching and coaching people how to do lead generation and then making lots and lots of money doing it because you're never going to run out of leads. You're never going to run out of people. Okay, you're never going to do it. You're never going to do it. I don't even have enough time in the day to try to
Hmm.
contact all these people, but most of these people and most of the network marketing companies, for example, they do not teach what I'm teaching here today. Can I kind of get a census on that? Does anyone out there teach what we're teaching? Really, seriously, like behind the
Well,
scenes?
they don't teach you how to really do it, Mom. Like they don't actually
They
teach you how
but
to
make you bug your
capture.
family and friends, don't they?
Hmm.
Because it's the
Yeah,
simplest way, right?
yeah,
That's what they're
it's
thinking in their
typically
head.
the route of when people when they market, they basically are a deer in headlights, actually most of the time, you know. But with our system, the fact that they can use it, yes, technically for any other business, you know, like I've had a client before say, you know, can you help me with this other business? And I said, well, yes, but if you actually like, you know, learn a fish, you know, teach a
Learn
fish
how to
kind of thing,
fish, right?
learn how to fish. It's actually a couple things, and so we give you the tools and resources to do it, you know, to actually do it. Because like mom and I said, we can't state company names. We can't, you know, we
No,
don't
we're a
know the
general
company.
marketing company. We
Yeah,
can't do
we
that.
don't know your company. We don't know what the wording and the verbiage is. So that's, you know, what the system does. You can customize it how you want. But what I love about Get Fearless is really the freedom that we're given all the time. You know, mom, uh, you know, we travel a lot. Like this is like our thing as a family. And, you know, a lot of people go, well, I like traveling, but then the idea they like traveling, but they're not actually able to afford the traveling. So that's one thing mom and I and dad and Amanda and now Charlotte, we all enjoy. And there is no company at all that does this right here, you know, this Google Chromebook. And we have one left here. We also have we have, let me show you here real quick. I got Bob on this call right there. That's his. I got his already labeled and ready to go. And
Great.
there's no one that does this, you know, no one that actually creates a business in a box, you know. It's insane. So, you know, and no one would want to do it. Really, Mom, no one would want to do it because
Oh,
it's an
a lot of work
involved
for you.
work because I'm doing it for them, you know. And
Mhm.
that's the best part is when you join an online opportunity, you always want to be like, but what is next? And what is next is you actually have to get a thing going once you're in an opportunity. And that's the difference that separates us completely apart is we actually give you the actual form to fill out, and then it simply goes to me and I begin work. It's that simple. It's
Yes,
literally
a
that
very
is
simple
how
process.
the process works. And Get Fearless, you know, it's insane. Just some of just for your YouTube audience. I mean, I want to share my screen right now because this
Sure.
is, you know, kind of a Monday thing. But I mean, we have this. We have insane days with mom. You know, $5,000 days that we have with, you know, Fearless Mama herself, and just the you know, people that she's been able to help over the years. It's just so incredible because you know, it really comes down to a system that you are dependent on the system, right? We don't want to be in each other's inboxes. We don't want to be email threads 50 in deep, right? We want to make sure that people are on and running for what they desire in life, which is mainly it's actually just not the money, it's what money can do for them. So, you know, with our results and everything and just having our students and teachers and members being able to do these results over and over again. You know, just some, it's a sum total of how awesome Get Fearless can work for them. You know, mom making $1,000 in one day, just like that. I mean, how long would it take you to just grind at maybe, a hospital job or working on Uber, or I've seen so many people lately, Mom, in the city
Hmm.
that they're working there. I over here all the time. I'm hearing that they have to work their three, four jobs practically, their Uber Eats just to make actual rent. And when you can actually get them into the tools and picks and shovels of something, why not share it? Edward can share it to his USPS people, right? He can share it. Bob can share it to people that needs a Craigslist auto reply software. Molly can share it to someone that needs a capture page system for the MLM mamas out there. So, this is the system that is duplicating, being able to be over and over and over again, where Kat just made her sale here, $500, awesome job. And just like her,
There's
I'm not
Lakeitha. She's on here
like
now.
keep,
So
yeah.
there she goes.
So now they're off the races. Plug into the back office, right? We're system dependent here. So plug into the back office, watch the getting started video, and you're off to the races, right? And so it's why we do this because we don't want people to be bogged down. When she makes a sale, does she want to be? That's not what we made it to be. We want the system to be a flow and have a river where Mary Beth can have those $2,000 days. I can have my $500 days, 200. These are the results of the effort that we put in, and that's the actual results. Just like here, we have, Christina making it. It's all based on, really such an easy system that is not meant to create an anthill into a mountain, which most systems are. Most systems, you get plugged in, and it's just a bunch of things that are like all everywhere. And ultimately, we broke it down to the system is a one click. You connect if you want automation, and you connect it to a domain name. That's it, and you're done, and you begin marketing because on day one you have all the tools and resources in the welcome email, the resource guide, the setup videos, my personal setup, and everything is just so freaking cool. And so when we said for things to change for people in 2025, that's their paradigm of belief and thinking, just actually believing it's possible. And
I think,
so
yeah,
people that have been
I think that the paradigm shift has to happen, especially now with a lot of things that are falling out for a lot of people. I mean, I've talked to just several in the past week, and they're like, "Well, I don't have much of a 401k, it's gone or whatever, and the market's this and that and the other thing." Well, this business right here, Rob, has been recession proof for the past 12 years.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I mean, you do go over that on Monday, but I just want people to realize the reason why we jump on a Saturday is because, instead of teaching people how to do trading, which is so volatile right now, we're teaching people how to simply invite to a Zoom like this, you know, and then I follow up or make a phone call, and then they're making the money. They're making the spread, if you want to call it, and they're the middleman. So I love what Lakeitha just said today. It's not network marketing. We're not having
No.
to teach people, hey, write down, even though you can refer your friends if you want, and if you have a Facebook, and a lot of people just post images or share
Yeah,
them on Facebook,
absolutely.
like Anne and Mary Beth and Valerie and everybody does.
I recommend it to
They recommend to
anyone.
do that.
I recommend to anyone if you have the money that's there and you know the people you can help, then go for it. Don't be
Absolutely.
shy. I mean,
Absolutely.
shy people never get their bills paid on time. So
No.
you have to, utilize and actually be able to use our system that's super, super duplicated. I mean, the fact that the moment you start, you have a one-click funnel. You immediately, right from the bat. And I want to share the screen actually with a client right now. I have Bob's back office. I want to share with us how easy and what I do for him and what I've been doing for him. Bob, you can see it for your own self in real time. Look at this. Maybe you didn't get a chance to see what I do, but this setup right here, part of what Bob got at the $2,000 level is he's getting an exclusive full setup. So I actually, went in, I logged in because he didn't log in yet. So it's all good, right? People have life events, they have things that happen, and of course that's fine, because that's why I'm the guy that helps, everyone. So basically, you get right here. He joined, our top, one of our top and great friends there, Mary Beth, and we have just, like I said, so many great leaders that are doing this. And so, logged in, he has his one-click funnel. What does that look like? Well, it's very simple, right there. And then basically, he is ready to go when it comes to marketing that one-click funnel. However, I go further. I say, you know what? How about instead of buying a Ford, let's buy a Porsche today, right? Let's buy a Porsche. So I say, let's totally revamp him. And so what I did here, and my services are available, by the way, to absolutely everyone in the community, brand new people. And so what I do is I create him all these capture pages. So if Bob hasn't seen any of this, this is what I did. I loaded over 30 plus capture pages. He doesn't have to even have a thought on what to say or what to do when it comes to marketing Get Fearless. He has all the categories that I'm going to be building out for him. He has actually beautiful custom branding pages here that I built for him. They're all done for him. What? He even doesn't know this, but look, he has his Facebook on there as well. So it's a very nice breakdown of everything I build for him. His Craigslist funnel if he wants to use and market for GFF. So
Oh, and we
it's
get a
it's a
lot of sales
full.
on Craigslist. A lot of people that don't like social media, there's a lot of sales always for past 6 years have been on Craigslist. In fact, 5 years ago, I finally had to have my programmer fix it to where it was, you know, like working because you can't post websites on Craigslist. I don't know if anyone knows that. So we came up with the auto reply tool. So we're gonna make sure that, that people understand that they don't have to always use social media. So a lot of people, you can do Craigslist, but that's a beautiful setup, Rob. Phenomenal.
Yeah, that's just the
I love
beginning
it.
because he gets a laptop with that setup as well. So,
Yep, that's
the
great.
beautiful part about us, the difference is we get people out of the setup mode.
Yep.
See, what happens is people get stuck. They actually get stuck, and I've had it many times happen where I've been in other companies before really
Hmm.
helping mom and stuff, and they get in this mode called setup. You got to get out of that because the tools and resources are already built in the back office. Plug into it. It's like saying, hey, I don't have power to my MacBook, but the moment I plug in and log in, I have actually the tools and resources. So, please review it, and that's the thing about what we have. Like the Craigslist, Edward. Craigslist is super simple. You follow the steps, it's done and ready, just like that. Because right, take the cord and you plug right in to what we have in the back office. So that's what we do. We have it where we know that you don't want to get bogged down yourself. And so we have a complete done for you system that's built into that box. So,
Yeah, for sure.
super cool, amazing that you can make 100% commissions. You can actually
Well,
be
what I
able
like
to
about
help.
the technology that we have nowadays, and especially the live training, is that, we're still humanizing the digital realm. We're still helping people, you know, like there's so many marketers, and I think it's funny. I think I said this to you the other day, Rob. There's so much talk about the automation, chat GPT, and all this AI stuff, but they still want to talk to a human. They still want to get on the phone and call me. So we're still keeping that okay, all these bells and whistles and the buzzwords out there, we still have it because we have it at the 2000 level where you've gone through a lot of the training for people that are just still basic to the chat GPT, So can you talk on that today? Sorry, I was thinking this
I
tonight's
would love to.
12:30 our
Yeah.
time.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Chat
can you talk about
GPT.
chat GPT?
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, Chat GPT. Honestly, I've had people that say, "What is it?" Yeah, they still don't know. They don't know what it is, but
Okay. Can you
um,
explain it basic for people?
yeah, I can explain it. I can share my screen real quick on what I
Okay.
do.
We
Let
have
me
the
just get
training at
to
the
that.
2000 level this month.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
people on here
So
get going. If you're not in yet, plug in and
definitely get
then
into
start
the
making sales.
2000. Super freaking awesome this level because I teach on this in very depth. Okay. But ChatGPT, right? It literally is going to be your best friend. And people say, "What? I have a virtual best friend?" Yes, you actually do, because you have this. And most things can ever actually be solved with this platform now. And I go into training and teaching how to use it and integrate it with GFF, how to use it. And some people say, "Well, I have a business maybe for business credit, or I have a real estate empire, or I have whatever type of business." Well, haven't you thought to yourself, maybe just use this? ChatGPT can actually make this happen for any business, and you can actually ask it anything. Like, again, that's what they say, ask anything. So I train on that and I cover and I go really in depth. I mean, when I have people ask me a question, I say, "Great, let me ask ChatGPT," because ChatGPT can
It's
really
kind of like Google only on
it
steroids.
yeah, so fun fact, Mom, I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't even think of it till you did.
Hmm.
But when I am using my iPhone and I was asking a question, it integrated with ChatGPT because I have one of the newer ones. So I
Okay.
asked, I was like, hey, and it goes, "Would you like me to use ChatGPT for that?" I was like, "Yeah, okay." So this is a great platform for anything because they actually can. I mean, you should see some of the stuff that they do. I mean, I can do Zooms where I can actually send out like this right here. We use this in our email for St. Patrick's Day, and I said
Yeah, it
all I
works really
told it
good.
was create me an email for our our Eastern our Zoom,
Hmm.
and I basically just gave it some words. Like, now I wasn't perfect, I didn't have to have punctuation or grammar, but I simply asked it how I thought it in my head, and it goes, "Sure, Robert," and it gives me this breakdown. So I teach on that. If people get stuck, they don't know, because there is no, by the way, customer service for ChatGPT. But at the $2,000 level, I am really basically the guy that has learned it in and out. And that is, how I actually just made his bridge page, Bob's bridge page. I used ChatGPT. So you're going to learn all the ins and outs at that level. We also have ways to make money, over 300 plus ways in the back office, how to make money with ChatGPT. People are hurting. They need money. Well, the brain, the human brain, one thing about the human brain, I think there's a massive flaw. We compartmentalize, especially men, compartmentalized, and we also have this massive ego that blocks us. And a computer doesn't. A computer actually sources and finds information. That's the difference. So you're gonna want to lean on that if you really are someone that just has this analytical, overthinking mind. You want to plug into my training because I make you at ease when you're in marketing.
Yep. And that's a good point too, because I mean, to be resourceful, I mean, we've all gotten to this point in our lives, right? Today, Saturday, April 5th, 12:30. You're always thinking of solutions, or you're always thinking of, hey, if you have a problem, what is that solution, right? So my mom and my dad, we were just talking about it last night, reminiscing and things like that. And I'm blessed to have both my parents still. And it's like, what did they have me do? They had me actually go to the encyclopedias. They still have them. They still have them in their house, the encyclopedias against the wall, and say, "Tammy, go learn. Go look it up. If you don't know something, go look it up." But Rob knows the encyclopedias. But nowadays we're like, we get kind of frozen or deer in the headlights because all this new automation, all this new technology, and it's really nothing different. So I've learned to be a constant. I'm always going to be learning. I don't care as long as I live. I told Amanda this the other day with Charlotte, as long as I'm living, right, I'll continually learn. So it really depends on your teachability index. I learned this a long time
Yes.
ago. I have a high teachability index. I mean, I want it like from a 1 to a 10. You can put in the chat, where are you at in your life? Do you want to learn a lot, or do you want to just be stuck and always, like Rob says, just totally stuck in your ways? Like, do you want to
Yeah.
stuck, right? But you're right. A lot of lot of people, and it can be women too, but like the older we get, the more filing cabinets that we have up here that get all jumbled up. I learned that from a
I
billionaire.
was told that at my
Bill Lar-
Verizon job one
Yep.
time. This lady walked in, and by the way, I mean, I literally could probably run Apple. I'm not trying to be like that, but I actually know everything
Oh,
in
you
and
know
out.
everything.
I've been on
Absolutely.
Macintosh since I was in kindergarten. I
Hmm.
can run the entire essentially IT department at Apple. That's how much I know.
Yeah.
So when it comes to knowledge and tech knowledge, because I wanted to know it,
It
because
was
I
because
knew
it
it
was your
would get me,
passion.
it was my passion, right? Some people would look at a car and they immediately know how to take it apart and rebuild it. I have a buddy of mine that he told me, Mom, it was a few months ago. He says, I fully took apart my transmission and he actually put it all the way back together
Wow.
perfect and it runs
Interesting.
flawless.
Some people are
But the
mechanical
guy,
mind.
so the person at the dealership said it was going to cost like 4 grand and he didn't have any extended warranties, right? So he knew how to, pull it apart and put it. So everyone has their knowledge, but you're plugging in because you want our knowledge. And so that's what you want to do. You want to fit in where you can get in with Get Fearless. You're watching this as a replay. You're watching this, man, I really need a business in a box. I need someone that's going to help me, guide me. And there's no other opportunity that gives away actual physical products and actual real help when you join a business, right? That's the big
No, it's
problem we
true. And
have
we've
going.
actually tripled our membership just because of this service alone. So I used to just be the only one working with my programmer until I said to my son, "Hey, you gotta come over and help me. I'm getting way too busy." So now we've expanded it to where I can talk to your leads, I can close your sales, Rob can get them set up. All you're doing is essentially just marketing and advertising, and that's it. I mean, if you want to become a closer, I'm certainly open to that. I have Kat helping me out, and she's actually busy today. So she's following up with her own leads. But I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine. But if you don't want me to, then I take 20% of your sale. That's it. There's other closers out there that take 30, 40, 50% of your sale. So I just wanted you to know that. And then, in fact, it was one of the companies I was in, it had a 2000 level that if I had him close my sale, I'd have to send him $1,000. Here, you're only sending me 200. So it's really,
Yeah.
really great. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think what I wanted to do was to make sure that everybody understood how to use a campaign with Get Fearless Freedom. If everybody wants me to show that, I can do that real quickly. And again, like Rob and I, we're just making sure that on a Saturday, because we're super busy during the week. I am with Charlotte. That's my busyness right now. So I figured I better jump on a Saturday on a Zoom to kind of help out a little bit. These are all the pages I have saved. Some of these actually Rob set up for me. Some of them I've put together for myself. So here's one here. So you can just do what the actual page says to do. So if you want to create a new campaign, you'd listen to the video if you want, 9-minute video, or you can just follow where it says what to do. So give your campaign a name, which I did. Capture page, which capture page do you want to use? You select a page, and I did. And then what list on your get response? If you want to create a new list for XYZ company, you of course set it up in get response, and then you'd come over here and you'd tell the system where you want those leads to be collected. Does this make sense? So when you're building a list out there, even if you have another company, my system can help you. And if there's other people that are trying to pitch you a system, you say, "Listen, I already have a system and you're pitching me in my inbox. Why don't you check out Get Fearless Freedom?" I get people like that all the time. And reverse
Exactly.
marketing all the time. Okay. This is where you would redirect your page. I'm going to be using my bridge page because that's what I do before I send them to the 7-minute video. You don't have to. Wherever you want it to redirect to, if you want to create a bridge page for your company or you want to put them to your opportunity, if you have a good 7-minute video. This, by the way, is how I ranked to number 5 out of 30,000 people in 1 month. So it's not like I haven't done this before for other companies with the system, okay? People have seen me do that. So since I've relaunched, I've obviously just, been teaching and training people with GFF. But this is where you could put it. You could put it in XYZ. You could create an actual campaign. You could create a whole uh, campaign or category for Craigslist, for example. Okay, but this is where you could put it. So I'm going to put it in number one GFF campaign so I can remember that because right here, got to remember it, and that's where you click save, and then you can just go to your list categories and then I find it right here. This is a brand new website. The reason why we have Get Fearless Freedom is in this, uh, I guess you could say service or, what, Rob? I'm at a loss for words. The reason why is because a lot of people would come to me and say, "Hey, Tammy, can you teach and train me? But I'm in another company." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Pay me $2,000 and I'll teach and train
Yeah.
you." Sure.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's the
no,
reason
so
why I have it.
that's exactly it,
Because they
we
saw
have
I was
this
always on the
to
leaderboards and stuff, and they wanted to work with me. So I said, hey, then let's create Get Fearless Freedom. And now you all get to get paid off of my knowledge because of that. Does that make sense?
makes sense. Yeah, I want to log into my account, my demo account actually, because I
Hmm.
think that's gonna be the best option for the Zoom here or the YouTube. But basically the
Sure.
demo account I have, this might even help like Edward or anyone else,
Yeah, and
but
we can take questions
ultimately
after the recording too for Edward.
what I've done here, you guys can see, is I created a bridge page for Craigslist. And when this bridge
Mhm.
page, right? So it at first glance, it's a lot of wording, but also it's kind of needed because some people just don't understand what it is. And what I do is I take when they opt in, so they go to Craigslist, all you have to do, Edward, and this is it, okay? When you create your account, you simply go to Craigslist.com. Okay. I'm just showing how easy this is. Go to account, for instance, I'll just log out here. And you might go, "Oh my gosh, this is so easy."
Hold on a
But this
second.
is
He says
all
he doesn't see anything. Hold on one second.
I'm
You
sharing
can't
my
see his
screen.
screen. Can you see us now?
I just want to share with them how easy
Sure.
the
Let me go ahead and
software.
end my YouTube though, because we're going to be sharing
Yeah, yeah,
sharing
yeah.
some
Let's end
some
that.
private proprietary. There, that's the word. So let me
Yeah.
stop the live stream on my YouTube, and then let me just say this to my YouTube channel, my followers. Sorry, if you want more information, just click the link below in the description. Just go to my 7-minute video, and then if you have any questions, go ahead and use the 800 number. Give me a call back, and I'll be more than happy to help you get started. So let me just go ahead and end the recording here on my YouTube. Okay. Can't find it
Do you
now.
see the screen now, Edward?